More than ever before in human history, we humans seem to be unable or unwilling to recognize our challenges, potential, and solutions. In an analogy with a certain recent movie, we 8 billion humans seem to be the ones that do not want to look up to see the threat or meteorite in collision with the Earth. One could argue the ones that consider themselves atheists and/or Darwinists seem to look the most away, because they are the ones that are supposed to have themselves informed by, and to act according to science. For simplicity, we argue that it is all of us 8 billion humans that look away from our proven potential and from our challenges. First and foremost, most of us humans look away by assuming that we only have one or two important challenges, and on top of that we humans seem to see the few challenges we consider as not related. When CDC and others warn of an eventual perfect storm related to health, then they already are warning of at least 2 challenges. CDC, simply by putting these 2 or more challenges together in one warning, can make us conclude that the included challenges are interrelated and/or associated, and kind of hints to something much worse, their eventual mutual reinforcing, confusingly called positive feedback. This is just an example to make our point that challenges are extremely varied, even in this one example where 2 seemingly independent challenges are seemingly unintendedly brought together in one warning. This most probably is an indication that all our challenges together are infinitely more varied than in this one, by CDC and many other health organizations, recognized health crisis-related example of a CDC warning. In this example, and for simplicity, we do not even include challenges related to food security, energy security, affordable energy prices, calamities, rising ocean levels, climate, etc. Resuming the example, in the year 2020, CDC published a warning, which is about us 8 billion humans having landed in a perfect storm, and this warning mentions antimicrobial-resistant infections and indirectly AMR. For most humans, the virus and the antimicrobial-resistant infections seem uncorrelated. In fact, many, if not most humans will not know well what AMR is, and have not further researched it. One could argue that most probably most people will not look for a deeper and more troublesome message pointing at or confirming an even more varied perfect storm than the well-known health crisis that became official in 2019, and will expect the whole thing to go away, and almost certainly will interpret the message or warning as have become obsolete, the moment the health crisis was officially declared over. Most humans will not realize that in the CDC warning, mentioned, Global Action Plan on AMR had been going on at least since 2010, and that no satisfactory answer to the AMR challenge was ever found nor declared. This whole crisis around AMR, and the by WHO and by other organizations sought after action plan, as well as the need to have such a plan until it had the AMR solved, seems to have been buried under the rubble of the 2019 health crisis and its aftermaths, probably because they include several conflicts, calamities, and other kinds of crises that must have distracted quite a lot. Since the beginning of this century, health organizations, including WHO, have warned about AMR, and about the need for adherence to the principles of and need for their interpretation of One Health. Most people do not see the temporal and spatial association of AMR with epidemics related to viruses of the same family, nor with the antibiotic industry's crisis, which is not a lack of interest, but rather a lack of security for that part of the industry, possibly because of the problem and risks of the AMR in focus occurring, and or a major interest in other possibly less risky and more lucrative treatments. As said, this was an example of us illustrating the possible and probable interconnectedness in this one particular recognized and limited perfect storm. This is an example and a reminder that when considering the perfect storm or the complete set of challenges and or perfect storms, that we probably will be confronted with an almost infinity of interconnections between them. This possibly makes a solution by health organizations generally practice surveillance, recognition, and solution or treatment impossible in practice. Still, after that warning from the CDC and other organizations in 2020 and the following years, the health crisis and the problems prolonged for a rather long period of time, and possibly or probably are not over yet. On top of the above, WHO also and more recently warned for an expected disease X that could be like 20 times more severe, and this not if, but when. By the timing of this additional warning, we could deduce that disease X could introduce itself any day and year, or even be ongoing already, for instance in an endemic form. On top of all this, on other parallel occasions, and without pointing out relation with the apparently unrelated disease X, another important WHO representative warned of several expected and at least limited, but controlled, going on of breakthroughs of endemic zoonoses and linked them to certain climate challenges. Obviously our economies etc. would not survive, without collateral, a disease 20 times more severe than the past health crisis that officially started in 2019, especially if it was simultaneously with other diseases, whether these other diseases would be breakthroughs or yet new diseases. Such a disease or combination of challenges would most probably lead to more blaming and or also more conflicts. It does not make a difference if this or that disease was enhanced or not, and or if it escaped from a laboratory or not, the facts and risks remain the same. There are many other competent organizations, institutes and professionals that give similar warnings of crisis, challenges, threats and or perfect storms. If you search the internet for CDC Perfect Storm AMR, you will get tens of returns from the most competent parties. This video is part of a series and to be continued.